All right, welcome back, guys. My name's Craig Johnson. Welcome to Aware and Ahead, and today I wanted to talk about self-coddling versus real self-love or self-help. So we've all heard that idea of like you should love yourself or you should like self-help, right? As in like taking care of yourself or having a day off, or you deserve to have more wins, or you deserve to celebrate more than you do, or something like that, right? And I'm really here to tell you that I think a lot of that is really wrong. And that's actually coming more from a place of pride and slothfulness, in the sense of how self love today is projected or is shown as us trying to like loosen up or to cut us some slack. That's a great way to put it, is where we want to cut ourselves some slack. And instead of what we should really do, which is knowing our capabilities and pushing ourselves even further than what we think we're able to do, right? Going just a little bit on your edge. And I think that's where true self-love is, knowing what your worth is through your actions and the, how do you say that? True self-love is through your actions and the consistency of which you do that, or in the consistency of which you show your actions day by day. And how with self-love, I believe that it really is more about personal excellence, and how it is actually about becoming the best version that you can be. That's real self-love. Self-love isn't trying to cut yourself slack. It's not trying to sugarcoat situations just so you feel quote unquote better about yourself. For instance, if you're fat and you know you're fat, right? And you're not happy with it, but everyone around you is trying to tell you that you look great how you are, you look pretty being fluffy, or all that type of shit, right? Deep down at the end of the day, you know if you're happy with yourself or not, or at least hopefully you do. And if you are telling yourself that and you really believe it, take a moment to see if that's really how you feel. If it is, cool, go live your life and be happy about it. But for a lot of the majority of people, it isn't what we want to be like. That isn't how we didn't want to get to that point, but we're using it as a mask to not have to put in the work that we know that we need to lose that weight. And I think that can go with a lot of situations, and that doesn't have to just be with fat loss. That can be with so many other things, but that's just a great and easy physical representation of that. And then the skills and the actions in order to do that are basically, I mean, yeah, everybody's different. I don't care about that shit right now. I'm trying to go back to the main basics, where it is you eat less and you burn more than you eat, right? That's the basic idea of it. And at the moment, you aren't working out, or you aren't even being active enough to where the things that you're taking into your body are just building up inside of you. And it's a physical representation of that by your size, by your weight. Now, again, some people are fine with that. That's cool. For me and for the people that I want to really help out with, though, I'm not about that life, and I'm not about self-coddling with that. Self-coddling in that case would then be telling yourself that you're okay and you love the way that you are, even though really when you think about it, your knees hurt all the time and you get winded going up the stairs, or you can't do the activities that you know you actually love to because of the lack of energy that you have. Self-love comes from looking at yourself in places that you are lacking in, and that you're really, that you know your possibility, and that you know your worth, and that you know your true capabilities of what you're able to do in that moment. And then instead of just settling for what you're doing currently, you raise the bar and you raise the stakes so you can become that better version of yourself. So you know, so you can actually enjoy the things that you do, so you can actually go hiking, so you can actually go play a sport, so you can actually be attractive to a woman that you want. There's a lot of different ways to look at that, but I believe that with the self-love, it's being honest with yourself and being more candid or brutally honest in either way, where you look at your situation and you say, hey, am I getting the results that I really want to get out of life? And for a lot of us, we really aren't, because we're falling short. I'm responsible for myself with this as well. I am definitely not doing as much as I could be doing. But by me making this video, at the end of the day, I'm talking to myself, because this is helping me realize how much work I need to get done in order for me to become what I really know I am capable of, right? So if you're taking this personally, just understand I'm speaking to myself when I'm talking to these videos. I'm not at the weight that I want to be at. Yeah, I'm not 350 pounds, but that doesn't mean I have to settle for the weight I'm currently at for how my body currently looks or how weak I am in the gym or whatever, right? I mean, I can show myself some kindness, not niceness, but actual kindness, where you can have a little bit of compassion for yourself, where it's like, hey, you haven't been able to work out for 6 weeks because you had heart problems hit and you literally could not do that, or else you could have the possibility of really screwing up your heart long term. Okay, that makes sense. My 6 weeks are up. Why am I still being sedentary? Why am I noticing that I'm eating more bread with honey? I don't know. Like, I can look at the result and it's like, okay, that time of you needing to chill is over. So are you going to keep doing that? And is that an excuse, or are you going to keep using that as a way for you not to actually progress or know the body that you want, the look that you know that you can have because you were close to achieving that? You weren't super close, but you were at the beginning of it and you could see it right before it happened. And instead of using that frustration and that anger and that guilt and shaming yourself to then stay in where you are and then actually getting worse, again, I'm talking about myself, I'm going to use that anger and that frustration to realize how short I am of becoming what I know I can be. So I'm going to start doing things again. So I'm going to start working out. So I'm going to get back into the gym, because that pain is way more worth it than the regret. I think that's a big thing that I've learned in life, where I really hated, again, I use the word cowardly in a lot of this sense, on how I was very nice and how I didn't speak up about things, or how I just really didn't allow myself to have a voice. Now, there was a benefit to that to some degree of how I listened to everyone around me, so I've been able to gain a lot of perspectives on that. But at the same time, I know I could have also had my own voice at the time, and I should have just allowed myself to be wrong if I was wrong in the moment, or just allow myself to even try to express it, right? These videos, I could be wrong about saying a couple things, or I might sound wrong to you, but I know for the lifestyle I want to live and for the results that I want to get to and that I want to prove to and that I want to have my family live by in the future, that's way more valuable than being comfy right now or being sedentary. Like, don't live. If you think the price of winning is hard or is bad, wait until you get regret. That's a quote by Tim Grover that I've been recently hearing around, and it's kind of going its places around on Instagram and stuff, but it is a very true quote, because, I mean, I'm only 23, but there are so many things already that I regret, and I'm pissed at myself for it. But I can use that anger and that frustration in a way that can actually be very healthy and very good to project me further and to actually slingshot me, right? To slingshot me into never allowing myself to be like that again. Real self-love in that scenario is being like, hey, when you talk, you might screw up. You might fuck up what you're going to say, or you might be wrong in that argument. But guess what? You're never not going to know if you never try. Like, instead of trying to be so perfectionistic about it, just allow yourself to speak. Allow yourself to post this content online. Yeah, it's not edited. Yeah, it's not crazy pretty or whatever of that. But you have to go through this period of just even getting used to putting out content, hopefully daily at this point, to even get to the point where you want to with the YouTube channel. Like, the reason that I'm building this YouTube channel is not because I just want to be a YouTuber. I want to use this as a way to be able to get podcasts, to get interviews, to talk to highly successful people, and to build my own business from that. This hoodie that I'm wearing right now, Civil Regime, I love. I've had it for years. It's a marble hoodie, and then it has really cool hand-done stitching on the sleeves and then on the back of the hood as well, right? Kind of feminine to some people. I really don't give a shit if you think about that. I think it looks dope, and I love marble tie-dye hoodies and stuff like that. And not that I want to create an exact replica of that, but I know I'm going to be able to create my own brand one day, and that I have a lot of really big goals. And a way to help me with that is by getting my messages out, is by just allowing me to screw up and fail, or just to post content that I might disagree with the next day or in 5 years or in 5 months or whenever. But that's cool, because then that means that you're actually living. So I'm actually allowing myself to actually live, to give myself a shot to what I actually want to do and to actually what really matters to me. And being quiet does not matter to me anymore. Having people like being so caught up in everyone's opinions or everyone's thoughts or agreeing with everyone, that shit can go out the window. It doesn't serve you at all. You can be respectful, and you should be respectful, and you can allow and listen to people to give their sides of it, but that doesn't mean you have to completely agree with everything they say. And you can and you have the power to do that right now. And then you have the power to be able to politely disagree with them and be like, hey, I really love all the points that you bring, but I do have to admit I do disagree with you on this part. And then have a conversation further, because maybe it's just a misunderstanding, but if you're agreeing to everything in the first place and you didn't question themselves, one, you're not allowing them to become better, because then they aren't thinking through their stuff and then they think that they're just perfect at everything. Like, there's so many layers that can go through. And I'm just kind of rambling on with this at this point, but it all goes back to self-love, self-help, all that type of stuff has been really manipulated with the everybody gets a trophy culture, with everybody wins culture. And the reality and the hard truth about life is that not everybody wins, and actually a lot of people really don't. And the majority of, there's a reason why there's only one winner, or one basketball team wins, or one Olympic gold medalist. There's reasons for that. And it's the reality of life. And some people don't care about winning, and that's fine. For you, that's fine. That's cool. But that's not me. I have been a loser for so much of my life, and I literally have lost every single time with everything. Even if I was part of like a lacrosse team or a track tournament or whatever where we won, I knew it wasn't because of me or because of like how I knew I could have given a lot more to that. And then I haven't personally won in life by myself for my own actions, for the things that I have personally done. And I'm tired of allowing myself to just keep losing like that. When you've never really had a real victory in life, you want to change things. And you want to understand and know what winning feels like. And when you get a taste of that, when you haven't had it for so long, it feels really fucking good. And I encourage you guys, where if you're in similar boats like me, where I think a lot of us, we would like to say that we've won at life, or we'd like to say that we've done certain things, but really think about it and really analyze, like, how much have you won? And if you did win in the past, are you stuck on that? Are you stuck on that win, which is not allowing you then to have other wins? Are you not letting yourself get to your next potential and fail a whole bunch, so then you can see what the next level of you and the next level of winning actually looks like to you? There's a lot of questions that can go with that, and there's a lot of things that can be said about that type of stuff. And I want to see as many people win. I want to see as many people win in many different areas and in all different sorts of areas. You can win. It's not just in sports. It's not just in business. It's not just in YouTube or social media or whatever. All that shit can go out the window at the end of the day. But are you winning yourself? Are you beating your bitch voice? Are you doing something? Are you doing things daily to win? And only you can really determine that. There's a really good podcast episode that I would recommend called 1000 Days from Real AF Andy Frisella. There's 2 parts to it, and look up part 2 after, but it's talking about how have you won the last 1000 days? And have you done everything that you can to be better during those 1000 days? And at first I wanted to say yes, because I'm very grateful for all the progress that I have made. But at the same time, I really haven't. And I had to be humble during that moment and really think about that, because I haven't won my last 1,000 days. The majority of them, I didn't really win. I've progressed, definitely, but at the same time, it's really exciting because it's like maybe I won 20% of those days. Maybe I won 20% of that. And with how far I've grown within that last 1,000 days, if I can get that up to even 50%, to 70%, to 80%, right? Think of how much faster you're going to be, and think of how much more of a different person you can be with that. So I guess this is also this is a restart of my own 1,000 days, and I'm going to look back on this video, and I'm going to create a video for myself to personally think about, and I want to see how far I've gotten. And I don't want to recognize this person. I don't want to feel like I know what this guy is like, or that my habits are still the same, or anything like that. Because then I really haven't done anything with this. I haven't done anything with this channel. I haven't done anything with my life if that's not the case. And I want more of you to think about that. I want more of you to have that kind of perspective and that shift, and to have the humility and then the gratitude after. Have the humility to recognize that you most likely have not put in the most work that you could to become a better version of yourself, to do whatever it is, to grow your business, to be a better husband, to be a better wife, to be a better family member. The majority of us can always do a lot more. And that's exciting. That's really exciting, because then we really don't know what we can be capable of. And I just want you to kind of think about those questions, and I'll leave that with you. And just remember, guys, don't be an airhead, be aware and ahead. Thanks, guys.